There is a new kid on the block when it comes to AI generation of videos and images, and it makes life 100 times easier. It's called KIE AI, and it allows you to connect to a load of different video models and image models through one API. Now, this might not sound massive. What this means is that when new models come out, you don't have to keep connecting and creating new accounts with new providers, or when you want to use Kling, or you want to use Midjourney, and you want to use VO3, you don't have to keep playing around with different APIs. You only have to use one. You only have to have one API key. You only have to keep one account topped up with credit. And when you're using workflows to generate videos or images or social media posts using AI, it just makes it so much easier. Now, this isn't a sponsored video, but I wish it was, because I'm starting to roll this out through all of my workflows, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works and how you can implement it within your workflows to just make generation of AI videos and AI images much, much easier. Let's get into it. Okay, so here we are on KIE's website, and you can see that what they do is give you access to the best video models, image models, and music models all in one place with one API, which is the thing that makes it so great. You can sign up for an account here, a free account. You can sign up with Google. And one thing we're going to take a look at is the API market section. It's got over here, so we can see all of the things that it does. So it's got three sections to it: video generation, image generation, and music generation. But it doesn't just create video, create images, or create music, but within those sections, you can do different things, such as text to video, image to video, video editing, lip syncing, and we can click into one such as video editing, and we can see that they've got several models here for video editing. Okay, so this is the front end. When you create your account, you're going to come to something that looks a little bit like this. In fact, let me go back to the dashboard. Looks a little bit like this. You'll probably have fewer credits than I do. I think you get like 50 to start with, so you can start playing around with it for free. But essentially, you've got a little dashboard here to show you your usage. And then on the left-hand side, we've got the playground. The playground is essentially how you can use these different models on this website here through like a GUI, right? On a website rather than through the API. So let's have a little look at this. We can access models such as VO3 and use different versions of the model. We can access like Runway and go from image to video or text to video, so use the different options that it's got. And let's have a look at flux context. So you can see here we can change different things, such as the ratio, enable translation, put format of the image, and also which version of the model we want to use. I'm going to simply say a photo of a space cowboy. That's a little Jamiroquai reference for all of those funk fans out there. Give it a second, and it's going to give us our images within like the web interface here, simply accessing flux context. I'm not sure which provider they use, but there we go. That's different to what other providers give me, but I guess it's not wrong. That is a space cowboy. There you go. So you can see we can use any of these models here through the playground. But what is really cool about KIE is the API side of things, because we can access all of these models through one single API. Previously, if we wanted to use VO3 and also 4.0, so OpenAI's 4.0 image generator, or Midjourney, we'd have to like pull together different APIs, use different API keys, and top up different accounts to make sure we've got credits with everything. Not with KIE. You just update one API, you have one API key, make sure you get credit on that, and you can use all of these for everything that you want to do involving images, or involving video, or involving songs as well, which I'm not really going to dig into this video, but if you're into that sort of thing, you can also use it for that. So the first thing you want to do on the API side of things is create an API key. Simply come over to API key and create an API key, and you give it a name, and it's going to give you a key. Looks a little bit like this, just a string of like random numbers and letters. Next, we want to go over to the model that we want to use. So I'm going to select Nano Banana, and it's going to open up a new tab. And you can see here, we've got the different versions of Nano Banana. We've got like an edit version, so we can edit an existing image that we give it, such as this one you can see here. This just really well shows off the capabilities. So we're just giving it this model here, and it's managing to create this output here, which is like super. This, you just could not tell this is AI, and it's got so much detail in it. It's fantastic, and I'm sure it's only going to get better. But we are going to use the Nano Banana just text to image generator in this example. So in order to actually run this, we are going to be using n8n. n8n is, if you don't know about it, fantastic bit of software. at the time of recording, my favorite bit of software for creating AI automations, AI agents, essentially anything, any AI workflow. n8n is the best, has been for 6 months, 12 months, and I don't see anything usurping it anytime soon. So I have built out 2 flows, which I'm going to rebuild with you guys, show how it works, to show 2 different models that we can use through KIE. One is Nano, and then we're going to look at VO3. So one thing to note here is, and if it doesn't make sense to you, don't worry, I'm going to go through it in detail. One thing to note here is that with everything with KIE, we have to access it in 2 steps. We have to first make a request to generate an image or generate a video, and then we have to get the response back. And the way that we're going to check for a response is by polling. And what that means is we're just going to check every 3 seconds, or if it's a video, I think we're going to check every 30 seconds to see if there's a response. There is a little bit of a more advanced way to do it with webhooks, but we're not going to look at that today. I'm going to drop in here and say, if you want some n8n templates absolutely for free, I'm going to give you not 10, not 15, not 20, but 997 n8n templates of premium quality, from everything from social media post generation to crypto analysis, everything you can imagine. If you want it, simply go to this page here. I'll leave a link in the description, and you can get all of those 997 templates for free to use within n8n. Anyway, back to the video. Okay, so if we go back over to Nano, what we're going to do is go on the API over here. And you can see here, we've got create task and query task. That's essentially what I was talking about earlier, where we can create it, we send off that request, and then we try and get the response back. And it's going to give us an ID when we create it, which we can then ask it, hey, have you created this image yet for this ID? And it will say yes or no. So all we need to do, and KIE makes it super easy, is we click on create task. We can then scroll down and we can see an example, and it's in curl. And the great thing about this is we can simply copy this and come over to n8n. We're going to create an HTTP node, which you can find over here. Just going HTTP and clicking on this. I've already created one. And we're going to open it up. Now, if you've never used n8n before, this might look a little bit foreign to you, but don't worry, it's actually very simple. I've got a few details filled in already, but all you want to do is go on import curl and simply paste in that curl that we copied from this section here. And once you do that, we can simply click import. The only thing that's changed on mine is it's got rid of my API key. So what we need to do is come back over to KIE, come on our API key, click copy, come over here, replace the API key, and it's as easy as that. Then we'll be able to execute this, and it's going to send off, and this is going to start generating an image. Now, it hasn't generated the image straight away, it's just started, and it gives us a task ID, as we can see here, and we can then use that task ID in the next step in order to query, has it been created yet? And in order to run that query, we need, oops, let's find the right one, to go over to the query task. And simply, we grab this again here, and we go copy, and we're going to come over to n8n, and again, create another HTTP node, and simply import the curl here, just like that. And there we go. And again, the only things we have to replace are the API key, which I can paste in there. Oh, that's the wrong thing. I forgot what I had on my clipboard. Let's replace that. Come on. There we go, we've got our API key in there. Then what we have to do is simply get our task ID and put that in as a parameter in this section here. So we're going to go over to the left, find task ID, and drag and drop that one in. Now we can execute this step, and we can see here that we do have a result JSON. Now, the way that this works, there are several ways you can do it, but the way that this works is when you first ask for that image, it's not going to have a result JSON field that's filled in. So what we want to do, and what we're doing here in this polling system, is we're running an if statement. And what this if statement does is it looks to see if the result JSON is empty. If it is empty, then what we're going to do is we're going to wait for 3 seconds, and then go back and check again to see what the response is, to see if this time it's updated, and to see if that response JSON is filled in. So let's run this, and it is filled in, so it should go down the false section. Come on, there we go. So it has gone down the false section. Then we simply just need to do a little bit of reformatting, and we're just changing this string, which is actually JSON, but it's given to us in a string, into an object. So we can execute this. And then what we're doing is we have got the URL of the image, and we are simply using another HTTP node that's just get, and then the URL, we're not changing anything else, not putting anything else into this HTTP request, just putting in the URL, and we'll execute that. And that will give us a binary file of our image, which we can view. And there we go, fantastic. I didn't even look what the prompt was, but I'm guessing it's like an intergalactic banana that's colorful. Let's have a look, what's the default prompt here? A surreal painting of a giant banana floating in space, stars, and galaxies. Fantastic. So there we go, pretty good as we would expect from Nano Banana. So let's have a look at how VO3 works. And it's basically the same thing. We are asking to create the video, we are then seeing if the video has been created, and we are waiting if it hasn't been created yet. The only difference really is that VO3 takes a little bit longer to generate a video, and therefore the wait is 30 seconds rather than 3 seconds. So what we do is we come over to, let's go back over here and go to VO3. So the only difference this time is that we need to go over to document on the dashboard of KIE, and you can see here we've got all the documentation for all the different APIs that you can connect to, and VO3 is the first one that we've got selected. And again, the same way, we have got a post request, which is requesting the video to be created, and then a get request, so we're retrieving the information. So if we click on the post request, again, we've got curl, so we can just copy that curl, come over to n8n or wherever you're running it. Maybe you're not using n8n, maybe you're using something else. I'm going to move this down here, and in the video generator, we simply import curl just like that, and it's going to fill in everything we need apart from the token. So if we go back over to KIE, find our token again, and this is the token. This is the only token we have to manage. We don't have to deal with all the different API keys that we get from all the different models. We just deal with one, put it in here, and we can edit a few things here. So you can input an image if you want to. I'm not going to, so I'm going to take this out of the API call. You can see here we've got the prompt. We've got a callback URL. Now, what this is what I mentioned a little bit earlier with how you can get a result. What this will do is it will essentially fire this webhook here when we've got a result. This is a little bit more complex, as it means we've got to set up a webhook within n8n or whatever stack you want to use. In this example, I'm not going to use it, so I'm going to remove that. We can also set things up such as, do we want to watermark? I'll leave that in. The aspect ratio, the model. I'm actually going to use the fast version. So if we go over to VO3 and scroll down, we can see, where is it? I believe it's here somewhere. Yeah, we can use the different models. So I'm going to use the VO3 fast. That's just _fast. So we go over here, _fast. And then a dog playing in the park is fine. So let's execute this step. And we should see we get a task ID. There we go, which we will use just like we did up here, for checking the result. So similar thing, we've just copied the, where are we? Over here, we've copied this get here with this curl up here. And what we're doing is we are passing in our task ID as a parameter into the URL. We've just copied the curl, imported it again, using that task ID, just like we did previously. And we're going to execute this step, and it's probably going to say that it hasn't generated yet. And the way that we're checking if it's been generated or not is the complete time. So when it has been completed, the complete time is not going to be empty. Because we just requested it just now, the complete time is empty at the moment. So if we run this if, we can see that this fires down the true route. Hopefully you can see that here. It says that it's true that this field is empty. So it's going to wait. It's going to go back around. That's going to take 30 seconds because there's no point polling every 3 seconds because it's probably going to take like a minute or so for these to run. So it's going to take 30 seconds and it's going to loop back around and do it all over again. So let's run the check status again, and then let's run the if again. You see this time that it is false, which means it has been completed. We are simply running a get request from the URL that this over here gives us. This gives us this URL here. And we can run a get request on that URL. And when we do that, we see that we get the binary file of this video. Give it a second, there we go. view, and here we go. There's our lovely, and it does have sound. I'm not sure if you can hear it or not, but fantastic. We can then like save it to Google Drive. We can create a social media post out of it. We can do whatever we want with it, however you want to incorporate it into your AI workflow. There we go. That is an overview of how you can use KIE AI, both on the dashboard, but also in an AI workflow like this. I really like it because it means I don't have to worry about dealing with lots of different APIs from lots of different providers and making sure they've all got credit. And when a new model comes out, I don't have to go and create a new account with them. I can just keep everything in one place. If you know of OpenRouter, that does the same, but with LLMs. This is for video and image models. Basically the same thing. Very helpful. There we go. I hope you have found this useful. Go ahead and try it out. As I said, this is not a sponsored video. I wish it was, but it's just a great tool that I really love. So if you like this video, please do give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.